Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, Lion!
Bigsby with a carry to begin the series. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Take right open.
Another run by Bigsby. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Here's Lawrence to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that may get lost in the grand scheme of things, but one thing's for sure. You certainly don't want to go 3 and out to start the game. So that's a nice job of finding the right play call and coming up with a first down.
Decent 24.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 36. Lawrence. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Now Lawrence. Flush to his right. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Brian Thomas from 13 yards out. And the Jaguars post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To throw is Daniels. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Get it.
Off the play fake, Daniels. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hope they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Daniels. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Daniels going to throw for it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. This a 2nd and 8.
All right, let's go.
Motion man left is Kirk. Now Lawrence to throw. And Thomas has it. He's got room to roam. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Brian Thomas with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Sheds off the tackle. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Robinson will try to pick it up. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. To the air goes Daniels. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Daniels. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
Come on.
Throwing now is Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. This one caught by Crowder. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Daniels looking to throw. And he completes this one to Terry McLaurin. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set.
Back to throw. Daniels. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And a dump off here to Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. Seibert's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. And finally stopped, but what a return all the way down to the 40.
During the week, the special teams coach puts together a game plan that he presents to the head coach. And in every game plan, there's one big play that he points to the head coach and says, listen, when we need it, we can go to it. I think they did exactly that on that one.
Okay, great.
Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. Here now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Looking to throw. Daniels. That's into the hands of Eckler. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Daniels. This will be caught just inside the 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 3rd down and 1. Looking to throw. Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown. Terry McLaurin. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have cut it back within a score. And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2.
Here we go, here we go.
Daniels going to try and throw for it. And he'll get in for the 2 points. So that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal.
Commanders 11.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. But, Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Here's Lawrence.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
A give running right, ETN.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Lawrence will throw.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. That is caught.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Red 23.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Jaguars are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Back to throw. Daniels on the screen. This is Eckler.
And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it as he gets wiped out on that one.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good record. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Foyesade American.
And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. That time defensively looked like they